What do you think of when you think of heaven on earth? Envision with me for a second. Beautiful skies, pristine rivers, everything is beautiful and harmonious. There's plenty of everything, and everyone is coming from kindness, love, and compassion. But maybe heaven on earth is something that's just in our minds. Maybe we create both heaven and hell in our heads. What would that mean for us? That would mean that we're creating this internal experience and projecting it out into the physical world. Maybe that's what's really happening. For example, this moment as I stand here is a moment I've talked about for 7 years. For the last 7 years, I said I want to talk about women's rights and human rights. And here I am today. This is my heaven on earth. And how amazing is it that I get to share my heaven with all of you in this moment. Tonight, I want to talk about some of my family stories, some of my ancestors. And I want to warn you, not all the stories are quite loving and harmonious. I'm going to take you through hell to get you out on the other side in heaven. So you've been warned. First, I want to start in rural Turkey, formerly known as Turkey, back in the 1960s. This here is a picture of my father's family, and the woman standing second from the right is my grandmother, a woman who I never had the pleasure of meeting, but I knew 3 things about her. I know that I inherit my name from her, and it means beautiful rose in Turkish. I know that she was forced to marry at the age of 16 to a man twice her age. And I also know that she was forced to give birth every year thereafter until she died. At her 12th child, the doctor warned the family that she would pass away if she had one more baby. And she did. She died on the day her 13th baby was born. Now, there's a saying in the Middle East. It says, a woman should never be left without a baby in her belly and a baton on her back. Where are we coming from that this has been accepted as the norm in certain parts of the world? Can you imagine a world where women could be treated equally, where women could be respected? And now, 70 years later, look at how far we've come. In 2 generations, I'm standing here across the world talking about her experience. Women in Iran are standing up as what started as a humble project to expose their hair in public has now become a national revolution standing up for freedom and human rights. You see, when we change our perspective and we stand up for equality, we end up creating freedom. We end up creating love. We end up creating heaven on earth for everyone. Now let's travel from the Middle East all the way to North America. My husband comes from an incredible lineage of African American background, and I want to share with you one of their most intimate family stories that they've given me permission to share. My father-in-law is the first African American to graduate from Harvard University from Miami-Dade County. He's right there in case you want to embarrass him. And my mother-in-law is the kindest and most generous doctor you will ever meet. She was born to a family where her father was the first African-American mayor deputy of a major city in the United States. So when Aunt Edith got sick and she needed medical care, they thought they were fully equipped. Except the year was 1967, and she was Black. When they took her to the hospital to get care from a dialysis machine, they found out that she could not use the machine, and she was refused care. The day Aunt Edith died, because of the color of her skin, was hell on earth. And how did my in-laws transform this hell into heaven? They dedicated their lives to saving other people's lives, regardless of gender, color, or race. They woke up every morning and they forgave what happened in their family. And they chose to hear other families. That's how they transformed hell into heaven. So you see, at every moment in time, we have two choices, really. Once you strip away all the drama and chaos, we're either choosing from love or fear. And every time we choose from love, we're creating connection, equality, and freedom. Now let's go back really far away, 9,000 years ago, and we're going to go back to Turkey, to Turkey. This is a picture of Çatalhöyük, an ancient village where excavations were found of women not only displaying pregnant and fertile bodies, but women displaying leadership poses, sitting in their throne. This is a village where women were respected as the empresses and the matriarchs of the society. Which makes me wonder, how would the world be if there was more feminine leadership in the world today? How would the world be if we came from love and nurture and connection instead of domination and control, instead of power and greed? What kind of world would we have today? Now, the good news is the feminine is on the rise. As you can see, we are growing in power. We are collectively coming together and standing up, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. We're standing up for our sons, our daughters, our fathers, our uncles, everybody. One of my favorite authors says, "Heaven on earth is a choice you must make, not a place you must find." Heaven on earth is within us. Heaven on earth happens every time we celebrate our individuality. Heaven on earth happens every time we acknowledge someone else for speaking up their mind and just listening to what they're saying. And every time we practice choosing love, we are getting that much closer to heaven on earth. Thank you.